Hello and welcome. Welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Jolanda and I am coming to you from the east of the Netherlands. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you found me. So, if you're new here, then you are very welcome. This is a podcast mainly about knitting, sometimes a little bit of crochet, but definitely everything fiber related. And I hope you would like to accompany me on this journey. So every week I'll try to upload a short video and I will talk to you about what I've been up to, the plans I had, the failures I had, because yes, failures are part of knitting. And even though I have been knitting for so long, every time I start or finish a project, there is something to be learned. So if you're returning, of course, you are most welcome. I'm so very much appreciated of you being here with me along on this journey that has been going on for 9 years almost. So that's just absolutely amazing. And everybody who left a comment last week, I was so touched. I was so emotional and so thankful for this wonderful community that we are building here together, because without you, I would not be doing this. So I am in a different corner. It's not the most cozy place in my house, but the light is a problem. It is very overcast, even though spring has sprung and the flowers and the trees are all in bloom. It is a very overcast day, and I am struggling with the allergies. So I have my cup of tea here, and I drink caffeine-free tea, which does wonders for me. I think with my age and the menopause symptoms, less caffeine is definitely advisable. So I hope it's not too hot and I burn myself. It's definitely hot. Okay, I have some fun things to share with you today. As I told you last week, oh no, I am going to talk about what I'm wearing. This is the Viola Odegaard cardigan. She is the designer, and this is the Agnes Kofte. It is a beautiful pattern that is being steeked. Rustic wool is being used, but I chose to use drop snort. I just suddenly, my train of thought was completely gone. Drop snort with drops fable, and this has become for me a very affordable cardigan, as drop snort is very affordable. I have some pilling at the moment going on. I don't know if you can see it, but there is definitely some pilling. But I have been wearing this a lot. I think it's one of my favorites. There is a beautiful crochet edging, and the brown is the drops fable. It is fingering weight and sport weight yarn. So it was a lot of knitting, but I don't remember it being boring or tedious. It is full color work all the way down, steeked. I sewed in some ribbons. There is definitely a podcast where I tell you all about it. And behind me, actually, there's a crochet blanket. I call it my watercolor blanket. So what I did, it is just a simple granny stripe blanket, but because I held one strand of undyed yarn together with all the scraps, it just gives a really beautiful marbled effect. And it has become a DK weight blanket, which is nice and warm, but I'll just have it here as a decoration for the time being. So yes, now I can talk about what I told you last week, and that was I promised myself to knit one little square on the Cozy Memories blanket. I call it that, but the pattern I'm using is a different variation, even though the outcome is the same. Sometimes I struggle with words because my brain thinks of something and I don't know, my mouth doesn't know how to bring it to you. So that happens, right? We all have that. So, yes, I have been a good woman, a good girl, and I have been adding to this blanket a little square every day. So today I am here and I have picked out my um, ochre color, and that will be added here. Then is one more tomorrow, and I have a whole row finished, so that is nice. We still have cold nights, close to freezing, so a blanket in the morning is very nice to sit under, and also while knitting, it is nice and warm and cozy. So my cozy memories blanket is getting love, and it is also working towards my yearly goals. I put on a bingo card with not a specific idea of trying to get bingo. I just want to try and cross out all the squares that I came up with. So I also did a little bit of spinning this week. I was trying to do the 15 minutes a day, and so far I managed to do that, and it even became more than 15 minutes, which is really nice. Well, I'm kind of a lazy spinner, I guess. I'm not so very patient, and I have multiple bobbins, but even though I have multiple bobbins, I don't really like changing them. I found out if they are mounted on in the opposite direction I usually mount them, they start making more noise, and then I have to turn them around again, and then the yarn goes the wrong way. So I just decided to keep my bobbin on there, and as soon as the bobbin is full, I just wind it off by hand. Somehow, winding off by hand is very calming for me, and yeah, part of the process. So I made two of these, and they looking very bright. They are not as bright, at least not as I see them here, but they are variegated, and yeah, I try not to spin it too thin, but I think my default is a little bit thinner than I had imagined. So this might be not the most consistent yarn because I have been neglecting this for a very long time. I still have quite a lot left because this is definitely enough for a whole sweater, cardigan, I hope. So there is more left. I dyed this yarn a long time ago and I can't remember what it is, but I do know it is very lofty and bouncy and fluffy. It is not compact at all, and I imagine this will fluff up a lot after washing. So I am interested to know, a few of you have mentioned they are also spinners. So if you are a spinner, I would love to hear about it. Do you spin often? Do you do this like I do, a few minutes or a half an hour every day? Because yeah, it's very calming and very relaxing. So I have been working on three more projects, and they were not all that great and successful, but I like to share a little video about the, the project I'm going to talk about right now. So this is the Flower Power by Arna Johanna, and I have been very good at working at it. I have finished the body. Let me remove this marker. I pinned the sleeves together, so when I work them two at a time, I don't have to constantly look where they are. So they are nicely tied together, even though I use separate needles to knit them. But the body first. So the ribbing is finished, the whole body is finished, it is bound off. It has also the corrugated ribbing, which is very nice. and I am working on the sleeves. So last week she said, very bravely, I have plenty of yarn, I don't have to worry. But I'm starting to worry a little bit because I do have to do the both of the front button bands. And I am still working. I mean, I have two of these for the sleeves I'm currently working on. So I don't think they will last the whole sleeve, but I have two more left and I really hope that is enough. If it is not enough, then I hope I have a color very similar like this, which I can use for the button band. Because yes, because the button band is corrugated. It is made of two colors. And I don't think it will show up that much. If that is a slightly, it has to be slightly different. And otherwise I have to order one bowl. I really hope I don't have to. And I really hope I can make it work. The sleeves are not super wide. They are just normal sleeves, nothing puffy. So hopefully I can get a long way. So one sleeve I do on the short circular 4.5 millimeter, these needles, and one I have on a magic loop. So something I forgot to mention all the time I've been working on this. What I changed in this is not only the mohair yarn, but I also, when I divided for the sleeves, I gave my front 10 stitches more than the back. So I subtracted, that's the word again, subtracted 10 stitches from the stitch count for the back and I added it to the front. So both fronts got 5 extra because I really need more fabric on the front. My back is not that wide, but I definitely have a belly and some breast that needs to be covered. And 10 stitches looks like it was just an estimate, and I think that will turn out okay. So yes, I think it looks lovely, and I think I made a lot of progress. And this is something I'm looking forward to. I hope this will become also one of my favorite things to wear because they are definitely a visual stunning. Yeah. So what else wanted I there was still something I wanted to talk about. Yes, because I don't know if you know this, I learned a lot with the test knit from Inge's Knitting Lab. So what she talked about and what I heard before, but I forget often, is when you are knitting, you can use two different size needles. And the benefits of that is if you choose a smaller size needle on the side that you're not knitting on. So for me, it is the right needle. For all right-handed knitters, it will be the left needle. So that will make the knitting a lot smoother. This only works, of course, if you use interchangeable needles. But the stitches slide more easily off your needle because the needle they slide off is a little bit smaller than the needle you're gonna knit on. So it will not affect your gauge because the needle you knit on, where the stitches will go on after you wrap the yarn, that will decide the diameter of the stitches. So I thought that was a very neat and nice trick I wanted to share with you. I hope it might um, give you an idea and maybe you want to try it. Sometimes it is very hard to keep sliding the stitches, and if the diameter is a little bit smaller, it goes way easier and faster if that is what you're looking for. So a small tip that is that I heard from Inge's Knitting Lab. I heard it before, but definitely she made me aware of it again and I start using it. So last time I was talking about a lot of things and I thought I wrapped up everything, and then there was still one thing laying on the ground waiting for me to talk about, and I totally forgot. So this is an old project, so a UFO, an unfinished object that has been there since last summer. It is not there for forever, but still it needs some love, and I am working on it every day. I don't have a set amount, but I have complicated color work, I have some mindless stuff, and I have a little bit of lace. And that's the perfect combination right now. So I am fully enjoying that. It is on a very thin needle, a 3.25 needle, but it's totally okay. With lace, it usually blocks out beautifully. So it is kind of curled up, unfortunately, but I hope I can show it to you anyway. So the last time must have been August, September maybe when you saw it, and I just um, started to connect everything. Um, how do you say it? Because it's not sleep separation, it's actually the connection from the body and from the back and the front, because this is a cardigan. So I started knitting, not in the round, so I'm not sure. But I'm sure you understand what I mean. You knit back and forward all the time, the fronts separately from the back, and at some point you're going to connect them all, and you have one long piece that is just going back and forward. So this is the Bonbon cardigan, and it is a lovely sweet cardigan with some lace details on the front and the hem. And I'm not even sure, but when I looked at it, it's like, oh yeah, I remember, I really liked it. So that's why I wanted to pick it up and start working on it. So I did at least did a few a decent amount. I think I did this much, about this much in 2 weeks. And again, is sport weight yarn, and it is in the sage color. I think this muted color will look nice on me. It is short sleeves. Now, if you are here for a longer time, I am not surprising you that this is probably not going to be short sleeves, because I don't have that much use for it, even though we do have a lot of hot weather here. I just don't like hot weather. And if it is hot, then I just wear a t-shirt and definitely not a cardigan on top of it. So I'm not sure. It might become long sleeves, it might become short sleeves. I have no idea. So far, I'm just enjoying knitting on this. And I will see when I get there, and I will see if I have enough yarn to make long sleeves, or maybe I decide to make short sleeves anyway. That is the beauty of knitting. Nothing is set in stone. You can change your mind whenever you want to. So this is curling up. Obviously, this has a V. And yeah, it is a fun knit. And I am very much enjoying working on this. The Bonbon Cardi. And of course, I forgot to mention, but I will link everything down below, including my Instagram, Ravelry, and Ko-Fi account. So now the big project, and I will show you some footage first, because I talk about what I don't like and all of that. So I hope you enjoy. I want to show you and tell you something about my color work. So in this pattern, the tail of the dragonfly is just one stitch at a long uh, amount of rows. So I thought I'd just carry the floats on the back side, and they are not looking that tight, to be honest. But if I then look at my color work, I think it is not stretchy at all. Maybe it's because of the mohair that is not stretchy, but you can see the fabric. It doesn't give. This just is very elastic. This is absolutely not. So I am very worried about that. So I decided to cut the floats, and I did it over here. So in the middle of the color work, I just cut the float and unraveled it. So now I have a zillion ends to weave in, and I realized that. So yeah, that's something I need to deal with. But if you look at the color work from the right side at the part I already cut the float, there it is completely the same. So I think it was a good decision. What I will do from now on, and what I was thinking from the beginning, but I don't know why I did not do that, is just take a loose strand and just keep it at this point. Everywhere the dragonfly tail is, I just have a strand of white hanging on the back. And it has to continue for 6 more rows. So there is just for 6 more rows, just one strand at every tail. And at some point you start knitting the wings, and then the whole motif of the dragonfly will be in white, and I can just knit regular colorwork, stranded colorwork. So yeah, again, I made it more difficult than I needed to, but I think this is definitely the right decision. I'm not sure about all the loose ends, but I wish I just took a different approach from the beginning. I really don't want to go back this whole section. There are so much stitches on the needle, as you can see. Oh, I really don't want to unravel that. Maybe I should just try to deal with this first and see if I like it, and then I can continue. Well, I'm very glad I discovered it after only this little and not after a whole sweater was finished, because yeah, that's the thing I would definitely do. Yeah, the dragonfly hopefully will pop up because of the white and the fluffiness. I really hope so. I will see it soon because there are just a few more rows left with the leaves, the green of the leaves, and then that it will be completely the dragonfly that will finish off the yoke. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I need to deal with at the moment. I will see how I can manage to tidy this up, and if I am satisfied I will do the rest and cut all these floats and unravel them. So yeah, hopefully next time you see this it is all sorted out and I'm all happy and smiling. So I'm pretty sure none of you thought it would be fun and an interesting process, and I don't even know if I like this. It's quite horrible. Then I thought maybe I should just cut it and leave in the float because it's quite sticky, but I'm afraid it's gonna unravel after washing. So I don't know. Then I am thinking maybe I should just drop this stitch until here and then attach a new yarn and use a crochet hook to lather it back up. Not sure, this is a loose strand. Is that going to work? Maybe I can try with one in the back, maybe. Yeah, I got myself into something. I'm not sure it's good though. Well, I find myself a crochet hook and I'm gonna try. There are not that many, right? I'm not so sure. I think it should be easy to unravel because I already made one. Already cut the threads though. Two. Three. Four. Five. I think I should just pick up this one. So I have to make 5 new stitches. Is it still okay? This is the one. So the next time I have to cut my threads, I make sure I don't cut the bottom two. I think that would be the best idea. Let me see how I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put this one back on the needle. I hope you were able to see this trick. I think it's looking great. I think that is my best thing so far. So I definitely got rid of many of the loose ends, not all of them. Show you. So this will be the thread I will use for the rest of the tail. I have here a few strands and here a few strands. Maybe I should knot them together and then weave them in. But I think it's way better than this and all that. So I think this is very doable. Hopefully further on I will keep these strands just intact. Hopefully it is giving me enough slack not to pull too much. So that will not give me, I will unravel this too because I don't like it. And okay, we will see how it goes. I think this is a success. And I think it also looks similar, almost better. Compare these two. This one I just did and this one was knitted. So yeah, I will continue doing this. All right, this is going well. This is going very well. So I'm at the point now I did not pre-cut the strands, so this is good. There is less work to be done. 2 rows will just stay as a whole. Okay, let's continue. Maybe I should duplicate stitch the bottom sad stitches. They get a little bit lost. I think that might be a good idea to go over it with another strand. I really like that double-stranded tail. See, I think I will Try some duplicate stitching, and since it's the same color, I think I can make that work and look nicely also. So I'm very torn about how this is looking because I'm not sure about the dragonflies. Is this too bright? Do I have too many stitches? I don't think so. I think this is quite good. But I don't know. I think these two strands is too much. Maybe the white is too much. I really don't know. I feel very torn and uncomfortable about my decisions. So I haven't decided yet. So now the big reveal, as you could hear about my explanation, is that I did not like what I was making. And that is very disappointing. And I think that is often has to do with the expectations because my expectations were incredibly high. As I told you in a few episodes, I was not looking for okay, I was looking for great, I was looking for amazing, and that is a very high expectation. So I'm not sure I'm going to accomplish that, but I did a lot of modifications. So you saw part of it. The last part you saw is that I was trying on the yoke and I was really, really not happy with the look of the dragonflies. I thought they were too puffy. They were the yarn I'm knitting them with is very irregular. So I got very thin spots, I got very fluffy spots, and then doubling the yarn was just not a good idea. So I frogged the whole dragonfly back. And now I don't know, you probably saw me working on it in the beginning. So what I did there was put it on two circular needles so you can see it more clearly because this needs to be seen more clearly for sure. It is the dragonfly sweater from Eleanor Mortensen and I'm knitting this in very fine yarn from Holst, which has a lot of meterage on 50 grams. But here we go. Look at that. Isn't this beautiful? So the dragonflies are now one strand, and I think this is way, way, way better. The green of the leaves doesn't stand out that much, but I don't think I really mind. You can definitely see it, and the flowers attract the attention together with the butterflies, and that is for me good enough. I want to say perfect, but I don't know. I can only tell you after I finish it. So I am close in finishing the butterflies, the dragonflies. Okay, I'm sorry. Obviously, my mind is very dusty again. So this is how far I got. Isn't that just lovely? So the neckband, it's not supposed to curl, but she wants you to do a professional cast on. And I read some people who already knitted this said, and I agree with that, professional cast on gives you absolutely no structure. So as soon as you start putting the stitches on your needles, it is very likely to go stretch wherever they want to go and stretch. And that's something I really dislike is a stretched out neckline. If you're a long time viewer, you already know I've been struggling a lot with necklines. I like to do them afterwards, but as Inge told us, Inge from Inge's Knitting Lab, you have to do it before you do the sleeves because the sleeve length will definitely be affected by your neckline. If your neckline is tighter, you need to knit the sleeves longer. So it only makes sense. So yeah, but I'm not there yet. So I can put it on. Let me see where the back is because I've got a really lovely stitch marker. Tiny little cat. You can see that. So that is the back. And I can definitely see that there is enough room, which makes me so happy. See? I don't know how this is on the back. I think it's a little bit bubbly. But I think this is going to be great actually. And I really like it. I love the color and I can't wait to get working on this again. I'm really happy I frocked this back. I think this is great. What I told you, the beginning of the tail was very invisible. It looks so thin, but it's probably just the beginning of the ball of yarn. I'm not sure why that's happened. I might duplicate stitches or I might not. But I think the dragonflies definitely show up very well. And I think that is the last motive before splitting for the sleeves. I'm not completely sure, but there are multiple options. So I will think about it when I get there. So yeah, see there is a little bit more of the purple visible and then there will be a neckband added. I will not add that much as I see. I don't want it to be high up because visually for me, I need some room here under my face to make it look uh, pleasing. So yeah, what do you think? I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, this is amazing. I was looking for the stick stitches, but this is not a cardigan. This is a sweater, so no sticking here. But will be definitely be the most amazing yarn to definitely stick because it's very rustic. So far, I have no finished object in this yarn, and I am looking forward to see how it will behave, how it will be after washing, and all that. I love it. I love it. It's so super light because all this, I did not even use up 150 grams ball of the purple. So it goes such a long way. How much it has? 287 meters or 314 yards for 50 grams. Can you imagine? That is a lot. And I will definitely take a lot of pictures before and after blocking because it will make a lot of difference. And yeah, such a stunning pattern. I'm really in love with it, and you can probably see it on my smile. That's yeah, this is really a really wonderful pattern. So I showed you everything today, and I'm very happy with the progress I made. And I hope you like this to watch me and see the progress and everything that's happened in a week. A lot can happen in a week. And also, sometimes in a week, not much happens because there's a lot of frogging or other shenanigans. My throat is so itchy because of the allergies. It's very annoying. So tea will definitely help me get going and not coughing a lot because that's kind of annoying. So yeah, I hope you found this an enjoyable episode, and I'm so happy for everyone who made it until here. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for leaving a comment or a like. It's very much appreciated. Like I said before, I will link everything down below. I understand it is quite difficult to access on a TV, but there are definitely links to patterns like this and whatever I've been talking about. There's also all the patterns that are still in hibernation, but the list is getting shorter. I think I forgot to talk about where you can get this pattern, because on Ravelry it is not available in English, at least not the last time I checked and somebody approached me asking if I could, how the pattern was working up from, I'm not sure if it's Swedish or Norwegian, or at least not English. And I could tell her that on her website she sells an ebook in English, and that also has this pattern and plenty of other beautiful patterns. So if you want to make this one and you go to Ravelry and there is not the English version, then please go to our website. It's also linked in Ravelry, and find 1 year of Viola cardigans. I think that's how the ebook is called. I think there's only one English ebook, so it will not be hard to find. And then you can knit this very easily, because it is very self-explanatory. The charts are very well written. There are multiple charts, so I'm sure you can figure it out as I did. Yeah. So I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I will be words. I will be back next week, and hopefully I got new things to show you. Please take care, don't stress too much, and we see each other again next week. Bye bye.